As the curve starts to slowly flatten in some states around the country, officials are beginning to explain what the new normal may look like when businesses can finally reopen. Aaron McLaughlin spoke with Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan about her plans for the future.
5 weeks ago, COVID-19 ravaged a Washington nursing home. A grim warning the global pandemic had arrived in the United States. Now the situation's improving, and Washington is desperate to get back to business. But the disease is still here.
It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. We are not really even halfway through, even though we've hit the peak.
Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan wants the number of new cases near zero before beginning to open the economy.
It may be that things like the construction industry, certain parts of it, people can get back to work because they can socially distance.
We don't want to trip over each other.
Good news for contractor Todd Sakai.
Seattle, housing market is super hot, so it's been devastating.
In Washington state, construction's not deemed essential. Sakai has paused 16 projects and laid off 12 employees.
Social distancing is a natural fit for the construction sector.
Yes. It's not that you can have 3 people here. It doesn't work that way. At the job site, it's okay to have that distance and doesn't feel weird. It's just always been.
Social distancing's not easy for restaurants. Durkan says they'll be among the toughest businesses to reopen.
We're trying to figure out how to do this every week because everything changes constantly.
At Laredo's, bar manager Ronald Dino is already planning for a new normal.
Taking out tables, allowing less people in your bar. The minute this gets back to normal, it doesn't mean our business is going to get back to normal. Like, we understand that it's going to be a slow process.
Until then, it's takeout only, including margaritas to go with your tacos. But Dino fears that model can't last.
I don't think it's feasible for any restaurant to just do takeout. It's too tough cost-wise. I think for a lot of places, 2 to 3 months is everybody's breaking point.
The nation's first hotspot searching for balance between the breaking point for business and keeping people safe.
This week, Washington Governor Jay Inslee said they'll likely reopen the economy in phases in reverse order to the shutdown. For example, mass gatherings were the first to be shut down, likely the last to be brought online. Aaron McLaughlin, NBC News, Seattle.
Well, as the coronavirus takes a toll on local hospitals, some companies are stepping in to try to help make emergency gear and protective equipment for our frontline workers. That includes one local company known for its construction work. King 5's Amy Moreno live in Bellevue to explain this one. Morning, Amy.
Good morning, Jake. Yeah, Genie is a Redmond-based company not too far from Overlake Hospital here in Bellevue, and they're normally known for making construction equipment, but now they're getting into the business of making personal protective equipment to help the doctors and nurses here at Overlake. It started with an engineer who came up with a prototype for a face shield.
And one of our engineers on a weekend went to Home Depot, and he got a piece of plastic, and he got some foam to put across the headband, and he got like a bungee material, and he made a mask.
Now, Genie shared with us some photos and video inside their operation. The company figured out quickly how to produce not only face shields, but face masks for Overlake, which, like so many hospitals, needs more PPE. So this room at Genie was turned into a production facility this week, and these workers, who are usually working with steel and hydraulics, are making 4,000 face shields and churning out face masks a minute.
They took a piece of weld wire for the bridge of the nose, and they figured out that we weren't really that good at sewing, so they came up with a way of heat sealing.
The Genie engineers are also 3D printing a plastic part that allows Overlake doctors and nurses to wear these protective suits. The hospital had 300 hoods that were sitting in storage because they couldn't connect properly to a tube that filters the air. Now, with this new part that Genie made, the hospital can now use these suits to treat coronavirus patients that come here for their help. We're live this morning in Bellevue. Amy Moreno, King 5 News.
You never know what you're capable of until you try. Amy, love it. Thank you. Well, this morning, China is coming clean about the actual number of people who died in the city of Wuhan during the coronavirus outbreak. China's new tally for Wuhan is 50% higher than its previous count. All of the confusion comes mostly because China is not always forthcoming with information, but there's also a conflict about the very definition of a positive case in China. Chinese officials say the revised number includes those who died at home in the early days of the outbreak and those whose deaths may have not been properly reported by local hospitals. Well, you are looking live this morning in New York, where starting today, everyone will be required to wear a face mask in public. New York's governor issued that order earlier this week, giving people some time to get their masks. New York has the most number of confirmed cases, with more than 220,000 and nearly 15,000 deaths. Mimi.
The U.S. is on its way to reopening for business this morning. President Trump has laid out a plan and says more than half the states are ready to go. But some critics are saying too many states still need more testing. Tracy Potts reports.
Phases in restoring our economic.
Ready for a reboot.
We are not opening all at once, but one careful step at a time.
President Trump says 29 states are ready to start reopening, some before May 1st. His three-phase plan, a gradual return to work and public life with social distancing and schools still closed. High-risk individuals stay home. Then resume non-essential travel, open schools, and ease restrictions on restaurants, sports, and large gatherings. Finally, back to normal life with caution, minimizing crowds with a focus on hygiene. Democrats argue the plan needs much more detail about
testing.
We need several million tests a day.
States would begin when coronavirus cases have dropped for 14 days.
If they need to remain closed, we will allow them to do that.
With jobless claims topping 22 million this month, Americans are protesting, eager to get back to work.
I honestly don't know when that check will be coming.
The federal government has run out of money for small business loans. Democrats are blocking efforts to add more.
We want to make sure if we're going to allocate a substantial amount of taxpayer dollars, an additional $250 billion, that it actually gets to the people who need it the most.
A stalemate on Capitol Hill as America prepares to open for business. The job situation is really bad in some areas, in some states as high as 25% unemployment. Tracy Potts, NBC News.
Nearly 30,000 employees will return to Boeing factories across Washington starting on Monday. It's a huge development for the state's economy, which has been stalled since that order, Governor Jay Inslee's order was enacted. When employees in Everett and Renton return to the assembly lines next week, they'll see new and increased safety precautions. Boeing says shifts will be staggered, so everyone won't be arriving and leaving at the same time. Workers must wear masks, and for those who have to work in close proximity with others, additional safety equipment will be provided. Governor Inslee praised the increased safety measures.
I am glad that the Boeing company is committing to very robust social distancing protocols and use of PPE. We will try to get more details about that to make sure that those plans are adequate to the safety of Boeing employees.
Since the outbreak, at least 30 Boeing employees have tested positive, and one of them died.
Mimi, in Snohomish County, a coronavirus testing site is being shut down. FEMA has actually pulled the center out of Everett after the number of people needing to be tested has dropped dramatically. FEMA will redirect resources, it says now, to another state. A Snohomish Health District spokesperson says there's also another reason.
The reason why you're seeing the drive-through testing site close the way it is right now is the lack of testing supplies that we need to continue.
Now, what is left from FEMA's supply will go to Snohomish County's long-term care centers. Well, the city of Renton wants production of the coronavirus vaccine to happen there. The city council plans to pass a resolution allowing them to pursue a company to come to Renton. Creating a coronavirus vaccine could take a year and a half.